Hey guys, Kurt here of NK Garage, and we're back with another flea market tool haul. I'm sad to say this is probably my last flea market tool haul of the season. It's getting tough out there. The flea market is still open. They usually stay open until December and really whenever the weather turns. So there's only a couple weeks left and it's just getting tough to pick. I bought all this stuff from only 2 sellers. We'll talk about the prices at the end of the video, but most of this table was from 1 seller, and then I just bought a couple wrenches over here from another seller. But let's jump into it and let's check out what I got. So I was happy that at least there was a pretty good tool seller there. I buy from the guy occasionally. His prices are okay. You know, they're not super cheap, but they're definitely not bad. This is an SK, USA made, 1/4-inch drive socket set. He had a bunch of SK stuff, so this was something that I picked out. And it's almost complete. We're missing the 6-inch extension, the probably 2 or 4-inch extension. I'm not sure exactly how long that one's supposed to be. 5.5mm socket, and then the 10 and 12mm deeps were replaced with Cornwell sockets. But everything else is here. It's not bad, you know. It's I like these cases. It's a full set, so you get 6-point SAE shallow, 6-point SAE deep, same in the metric, and there's a little universal adapter in here and a ratchet. Ratchet works pretty good. It's well used. You could see there's you know, some scratches and a little bit of chrome peeling, whatnot, but ratchet works just fine. It's got an owner's mark on it. I believe it says Sam. Not really a big deal. I thought it was something cool to pick up. Definitely show you guys. That was pretty cool. Next up is another socket set case. This one is a Billings, and I bought it just because the case is just awesome. I love these metal socket set cases. This is probably a 3/8 drive, like master set. I haven't had the time to really research and see what's supposed to be in here. But we have the Billings sticker in here, the Billings Vitaloy hot forge socket set. Kind of just some random pieces in here. There was no ratchet. We've got a couple of extensions, so we've got 2 of these, and the condition on most of the stuff in here is actually really nice. So these are probably like 4 to 5-inch extensions, 3/8 drive. We've got 2 3-inch extensions, or one's like a 2.5. This one here is just marked Vi Chrome, so I was wondering if that might be a Billings thing. There's a part number on it, but it doesn't actually say Billings. This one is a true Billings Vitaloy. Little universal joint in here. We have the 1/2-inch to 3/8 adapter. 2 deep sockets, both SAE. And then the rest of this is all swivel joint sockets. These are all SAE. There's a lot of doubles. But there was a 7/16, I think is this one here. Then we've got 4 1/2-inch, 1 9/16. I think there's 2 or 3 5/8s in here, and a couple 2 of the 11/16. So kind of random. Not really sure what happened to the rest of the pieces. Box is in excellent shape. It would be really fun to put this back to original condition, but I know that's going to be a challenge. The first thing I got to research what's supposed to be in here. I think on this end we've got a socket set C-625, so 3/8 drive. Cool blue case. Next up, little SK case, and when I opened this up, I knew I had to have it. It's got that SK Wayne logo in there, and I guess it's supposed to be the 3/8 drive swivel sockets. That's what was in here, so I'm assuming that's probably what this set is. But we've got 3/8 through 3/4 6 points. Some of them are in better condition than the others. There's a couple of them that are pretty loose, but then there's some that are pretty tight, so not bad. Next little socket set here is a Craftsman V-Series with the original rack. So these are the V-Series, like I said, but they're not the, they don't have like the knurled section or anything like that, just 19mm. So wasn't as easy to identify your SAE versus your metric back then. But it's 19, then it drops down to 17, then we go to 15. This one is a 14. Then we have a 13, 12. Then we jump down to 10, and the last one here is a 9. So we're skipping an 11, a 16, and an 18, I think. But that's kind of how they used to do that back then. This was probably my favorite pick of the day. Awesome Proto logo here. Proto Tools with the Flying Lady, box number 5295, set number 5200-FM. Thought this would be an excellent addition to the shop, and again another project to try to fill it back up to original condition. But this is the same similar Proto logo that we have up here. This of course is the Proto Los Angeles, but still Flying Lady. That's pretty awesome. This box, somebody added on this extra latch, I guess so they could lock it. Maybe they had it sitting on top of their toolbox. Didn't get too much in here, but there is some Proto stuff. This is a Proto Challenger ratchet, 3/8 drive. There's a couple of Plum sockets in here. So we have a Plum 7/8, Plum 11/16. Those are both 1/2 inch drive, 12 points. And then we have one more Plum 5/8, 12-point, 3/8 drive. We got a Proto breaker bar in here, Proto Professional, 5265, 3/8 drive. And 5 different deep well sockets, all Proto Professional, 3/8 drive, and they're all 12 points. So a lot of work to do on this one. I'm not even sure if anything in here is the proper era of Proto Tools, but again, I'd have to look into that. So at least I got a box, something to work on. That's always fun to do that. Got 4 more ratchets over here. First one up is the SK40170. This is the long handle 1/2 inch drive round head ratchet. It's in really nice shape, definitely light use on this guy. Pretty cool. Next up is the Craftsman. This is a Flying V era box head style ratchet. These I think are out of the mid 50s. So condition on this is really good for a ratchet that's 70 years old. Thought that was a pretty good pickup. Next up is a Craftsman ratchet I bought for my collection because I don't have this model. So this is the USA VR Series 44813. And I got it home, I started cleaning it up. I didn't realize the selector switch is made out of plastic. So there's some scratches on it now from the wire wheel. I still have to open it up and service it. It's definitely skipping a little bit here. I think there's a lot of just rust and corrosion in there. You can see some of that coming out. Not really too impressed on the design with the plastic switch. When I open it up, I'm going to see how that really looks. But I didn't have it. I figured why not. This was a great pick. This is Craftsman 1/4 inch drive in excellent shape. This is an old school V series 43185, so it's probably from the late 70s. But condition on it is like almost new. Operates really nice. It's got the quick release and the oil port. And there isn't any rust, scratches, or really any defects on it at all. So that, again, for a 50-year-old ratchet was a pretty nice thing to find. Got a Craftsman chain wrench. This is an older Flying V series model. So I thought that was cool. And again, just awesome condition on that because that's probably from the mid-60s. So again, where all these tools been hiding out, I don't know, but it's pretty nice to see them in this good condition. Craftsman pliers, these are the Western Forge black handle, the tongue and groove pliers, about a 10-inch. Craftsman Professional. Some people say these are the toughest screwdrivers out there. Everybody's got an opinion, but I definitely think they're good screwdrivers. They're a hard black handle. This is Phillips number 3, Western Forge. Got this Lufkin 100-foot tape measure, and it's like an open style. You can see there's a lot of wear on here. but it's still, you could still read it. I just thought it was cool. I like these things, and just seeing the whole coil and everything, the wooden handle, I just thought it was cool. There's the Lufkin logo on there, so I guess this will be the one for the shop. Got two Proto plum wrenches, inch and a 16th and inch and an 1/8. So these have those little pebble detent markings on them, but if we get it just right, you'll be able to see Proto, then the part number, manufactured USA, and then it also says Plum Tool Co. This was during their transitional period when they were going from Plum to Proto. So got two matching pieces there. That was pretty cool. I got these three Proto, and I believe these are line wrenches. They're 12 point. We have the 1/2 inch, the 3/4, and the 7/8. Guy had all three of them. They got the Pebble logo, and on the back they are the Los Angeles model. So condition on them is really awesome. Three pieces. Thought was a pretty good pickup. Anything Proto Los Angeles is always something I'm interested in. Next up, I got some wrenches for some sets I'm trying to put together. So I got 4 pieces of SK tools, the raised panel style, and they made these in 2 variations. One where the SK tools is written on this side of the wrench, but then sometimes the SK logo is on the other side, and those ones kind of have more of a polished chrome finish, but they're still a raised panel style. These are the ones I'm looking for. I'm putting this set together in metric. So I picked up the 17, the 12, the 11, and the 9. So there was that. Then I got 2 Craftsman wrenches. I'm always putting those sets together. 13 millimeter 6-point. Very hard to find these, especially at the flea market. I almost never see them, but when I do see them, I always pick them up. And then the 11/32, that awkward size. I'm always looking for that as well. Got this 22 millimeter SK. It's a 1/2 inch drive, deep impact socket, 6-point. I bought this. I thought we needed it for the shop. It's USA made. It's in great shape. Got home and realized we already have this socket. Not SK, we have a Mac, but I thought we needed it, but I guess I was wrong. And then there's this Blackhawk socket. This was in the SK set. I just took it out because it doesn't belong. But it's a Blackhawk, I guess semi-deep or deep 6-point universal socket, made in USA. And then this was actually my first purchase of the day. And I was really having a tough time. I went down a couple aisles of the flea market, couldn't find any tools. But this guy had a couple of wrenches lying around. He said $1 a wrench. So they had the 5 pieces of Sears. These are the BF Japan double box SAE wrenches with the offset. So figured for $5 for the whole set, and that sounded like a pretty good deal. Overall, they're in really nice condition. They do have some owner's marks on them. At least you can see a little bit here. But they're really not that deep. Not really a big deal. And then 2 Craftsman double box USA, of course. Again, I love putting Craftsman wrench sets together, and whenever I can get these for $1, I always pick them up. So that was $7, and everything that I bought from the other guy, that came out to, we made a deal at $400. I was a little shocked. He asked me for $450. I buy from him a lot, and I was thinking he was going to shoot me a price more in like $325, $350 range. So I asked him for $400 to do that deal. He said yes, because usually his price is a little bit lower, but I don't know, maybe he was just having a tough day that day. I mean, it's some pretty good stuff, but both of these socket cases, you know, really aren't anywhere near complete, so I know I'm going to have a lot of work to do on those. The cases themselves are in really great shape, but if you were to put a price tag on these, I probably paid $60 a piece for these. Probably paid $30 for the SK set, $10 for this, probably $100, $125 on this SK set, probably $30 for this big ratchet, $10 each on each of these. Probably $10 here, $5, $2, $5. I know I offered him $10 for this pair, and he said yes. I think I offered him $5 a piece on each of these, and he said yes. And then the smaller stuff here is probably, you know, $2, maybe $3 a piece. And that somehow should account to probably around $400, plus or minus a little bit. But you guys got to let me know what you think about this haul. It was a tough day at the market, I got to say. and I think I'm gonna probably not go back for the rest of this season because it's really getting dead out there. But I think I came home with a lot of great stuff. I'm really excited about the Proto Los Angeles and the Proto Plum and the Proto Box. I think those are my favorite picks of the day. You guys got to let me know what your favorite picks of the day are. And since it was such a short haul today, we're going to segment into a second part of the video where we're going to get back to some dump diamonds. You guys remember those? My dad has been pulling stuff out of the dump, so let me clear this off. I've got two big items from the dump that I want to show you guys. All right, guys, check these finds out. Both of these came out of the local dump, 100% for free. But they're going to need some work, that's for sure. So my dad calls me up and he says, "Hey, Kurt, there's a vise here. Do you want it?" And I said, "Yeah, of course, a free vise. I'll always take that." He goes, "I don't think it works." I go, "That's fine. You know, I'll figure it out." So what we got here, the only markings on it are this 1750 stamp. So I believe this is a Wilton 1750 bullet vise. Probably the Snap-on rebrand model. And what happened is they probably had tags on here that have fallen off over time. The vise is completely frozen up in this position. And when you turn the lever, what you actually end up doing is you end up backing it out of the back here. So this piece back here is starting to come out because it's so seized on the inside. So this is going to have to be a winter project for us, but I wanted to at least show you guys, you know, it's here, and it's definitely going to be worked on. So this is a 5-inch jaw vise, but jaws are here, and the swivel base is here. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a Wilton Snap-on rebrand, so that's cool. The swivel base is also completely seized. It's going to need a lot of work, this guy, but hey, that was free. Another free dump item, Delta, model 22-540, and it's a 12-inch by basically 6-inch planer. This came out of the dump, and there was no power cord on it. Story was somebody brought this in. It was an old wood planer that they had. The switch went, and they fiddled around with it, and then they just decided to buy a new one. So we kind of hooked up this temporary cord just to see if it works. It does work. I think we're going to need new blades for it, and a new switch, of course. We got a cord here we could use. So we'll have to just make a little switch plate here. I can get the switch online for about 13 bucks. And then it should be a good usable planer with a new set of blades in it. But it runs, it works, and you really can't complain with free, so I thought that was pretty cool too. Somehow we just keep coming across planers. This is the, what is it? Is this the 4th planer we've come across, Nick? 4th planer. All the other 3 have been DeWalt's, but this one's a Delta. But they all do the same thing, so figured I'd show you guys that. Tell me what you think about the dump diamonds. Let me know if you found anything recently for free. Side of the road, dumpster, out of the dump. Let me know. Definitely interested in hearing about that. So that's it for the video today, guys. Really appreciate it. You know, definitely leave your comments down below. Let us know what you think about this stuff, and let us know what you think about the tool haul. You think I should still try it with the flea market, or you think it's pretty much done now, right? But we'll be doing more tool hauls. They never stop. I got Facebook Marketplace. There's auctions. Plus, I know a couple of guys from the flea market. I got their phone numbers, and I always meet up with them privately and do private picks. So there'll be more coming. See you guys next week with another.